Today, I'm going to show you one of the easiest plays where you can easily make between 1,000 and 2,000% minimum over the next 18 months. The Cosmos ecosystem, guys, is exploding. And in this video today, I'm going to show you the easiest high-level picks that are no-brainers. Guys, this is going to be laid out so crystal clear for you. You do not want to miss this. It's a short, concise video bringing you very, very valuable alpha, because my goal for you guys and us as a community in this channel is to show you guys how to absolutely crush it in this upcoming bull run. All right, guys, if that sounds good to you, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Let's get into it. So what am I talking about? So I'm talking about this narrative. So what is interesting is we saw a crystal ball here, right? We saw something that happened, right? And what I've done here, guys, is I've sorted these top cryptocurrencies through by fully diluted valuation. If you look at it, you got Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay, they're kind of dino coins. We love them, right? But it is what it is. XRP, Bankcoin, Solana, very, very bullish on Solana ecosystem. BNB, well, I don't hear a lot of talk these days about BNB chain anymore. Stablecoin, Staked ETH, Cardano, Chainlink, very, very bullish. It's a middleware solution. Dogecoin's Doge. But when you get down here, you have really just a couple new competitors in the infrastructure space. TON came up from nowhere, and we're still looking to see what that comes out to. Then you got Avalanche, Arbitrage, and then Celestia. So Celestia just dropped about a month ago and is one of the highest market cap by fully diluted valuation coins in the space. And it exists in the Cosmos ecosystem. So what that tells me, guys, and I've told you guys on this channel many, many times before, this bull run is going to be led by three ecosystems: Solana, Ethereum, and Cosmos. And Cosmos has given us lots of signs already. We've seen KUJIRA run. We've seen other ones run. We saw even Luna Classic, which has nothing to do with it. It's basically a meme coin by now. And speaking of, I'll show you another connection to Luna Classic in just a bit. But we know where the narratives are headed, right? And so this gives us a really, really good thing to look ahead forward to. You can see that the Celestia, trading volume was not just fresh off of the airdrop. There's $600 million of trading volume today, and valued at $10.5 billion fully diluted. So there's obviously a lot of interest, and for good reason. So let's get into start talking some of the projects. So Neutron, if you want a comparison of a layer one blockchain, a smart contract platform, that's Neutron, right? That's Neutron. So if you look at the ones that we've seen before, like Luna before it crashed, massive traction last bull run, and we kind of need the go-to smart contract platform on top of Cosmos that's going to make life easy for people, and that's Neutron, right? Very, very easy. Smart contract platform secured by Cosmos Hub, the most secure CosmWasm platform in Cosmos. Neutron lets smart contracts leverage bleeding-edge interchain technology and minimal overhead. So they've just made, and guys, as we progress forward, with Celestia and now Neutron and other technologies, it's just getting better. The UX is getting better. The interface is getting better. The developer ecosystem and experience is getting better. Everything's getting better. They have interoperability, and it's finally getting to a place where we can start using these things very, very effectively and start seeing some actual real adoption here. So this video is meant to be very, very high level, guys. I'm not going to go super deep into this. I want to bring these to your attention because they are the leading platforms in the Cosmos ecosystem, at least the ones that I think are going to be very, very interesting. Now, I didn't bring up KUJIRA in this one because I did make a video on KUJIRA before, and as you guys saw in that video, if you haven't seen it yet already, I suggest that you go watch that. Maybe I'll put a link in the description below. But KUJIRA built this really cool ecosystem, and the narrative alone made it run. But when I showed you guys the video, I showed you that the ecosystem wasn't fully built yet. It needed a lot of liquidity to come in, and that was going to be essentially the trigger. So now I'll be watching KUJIRA, and if anyone in this, it's been a while since I made that. So in the comments below, guys, if there's been a lot of developments since the last video, and there's a lot of liquidity now in KUJIRA now, which is making the whole flywheel ecosystem run, let me know. But sometimes we need to look at the investors who are backing a project to know, because a lot of these guys do deep due diligence. Like whenever I see Delphi on a project, I know that they're very, very smart. I know that they've done a lot of due diligence. Delphi takes a long time to make investments, guys. Long hash, very respectable. Binance Labs, Coin Fund, all these guys do deep due diligence. And you can see that when we look at Neutron, it has $60 million in trading volume and a fully diluted valuation of 656. But what's interesting here, guys, is we go to CoinGecko didn't show the circulating market cap, but circulating market cap is only 150 million for a smart contract layer 1 platform. I think that's very, very low. Now, I didn't seem to find a whole lot of people building on it yet, but we know that there's been a lot of money invested into Neutron, and we know that it's probably going to be a leader in this upcoming bull run. So a 10x, 1,000% from here is very reasonable. A $1.5 billion market cap, guys. Like, I think that is not hard to perceive here. So that is on the low end here, right? Low end. So you can see there is some ecosystem development here. I would just like to see more. Personally, you've got Neutron Airdrop, Astroport, which is like the leading DEX on Neutron, the governance situation, Red Bank. You've got Lido for staking stuff. And so, but Lido using Neutron could be very, very beneficial for Neutron's TVL and things like that. Okay, so the next one, guys, is Osmos. Osmos is the leading decentralized exchange ecosystem in the Cosmos ecosystem. And right now it's valued at a market cap of $479 million. Now, next I'm going to compare that to Uniswap. So the leading equivalent on the Ethereum ecosystem is $4.6 billion. That is a 10x from here. And you can bet that Uniswap is going to do probably a 10x or 15x in the bull run from here as well. So when I say that you can do easily a 10 to 20x on these tokens here, for these projects in the Cosmos ecosystem, which is evolving, coming up, and I think it's going to have a big, big run this year, or this next 18 months, I think the minimum that they'll do is the current price or current valuation of the ETH alternative, right? Because ETH alternatives will continue to run. Will the Cosmos ones surpass ETH? I don't think so. But is it very, very realistic to expect that they're going to at least achieve the current valuations? Yeah, so that's it's a 10x, 1,000% to get to essentially where Uniswap currently is. And not only is Osmosis not only is it a DEX, but also investors, guys, Paradigm, Nascent, Robot Ventures, and Figment, all very, like, oh yeah, I told you Dokwan would come in the picture later from Luna, an investor, but look, he's dead. Not really, but got arrested. So anyway, back to it. So Osmosis is the interchain liquidity lab, and I think it's, so I said like it's the leading DEX, but also you can see that they've got margin. So, and you can do perpetuals, stake. So it's more than just a DEX. It's actually more than Uniswap. But here's where it gets really, really interesting, guys. So Osmosis and UX Chain propose a merger within the Cosmos ecosystem. So what does that mean, Kyle? Osmosis, the largest decentralized exchange on Cosmos, and lending protocol UX Chain are proposing a merger. The merger proposal includes integrating UX Chain's lending logic with Osmosis decentralized exchange, aiming to form a comprehensive DeFi hub. If approved, the process will begin with integrating UX Chain's codebase into Osmosis Chain, combining their capabilities and total value locked. Separate governance votes from each network's community will guide the merger process, including the possibility of a unified token. So they will take UX Chain's lending like Aave, combine it with Osmosis and stuff we just talked about to make one mega merger acquisition conglomerate type of project, essentially massively increasing TVL, massively increasing market cap. And for that reason, you can look at like, okay, so what would, the combined market cap of not just Uniswap at maybe a $10 billion valuation and Aave at 6, putting it at 16. So is it possible? But yes, also, but to go from 758 million to 16, now we're talking about more like almost like a 20x. However, I'm very curious, and we don't yet know what that token merger might look like. It might double the supply, effectively diluting everybody, but it might not, right? They might eliminate a lot of uncirculating tokens, which could be very, very interesting and very, very powerful. So guys, the next one is AIOZ. This one I'm more familiar with and was deeply involved in the early days. I was an advisor, an investor. We launched them on Paid Ignition Launchpad and making a crazy comeback here. This is AIOZ over here. You can see up 17.5% today, $20 million in trading volume listed on Coinbase and other good exchanges. With what I really like about this too, unlike the other ones, is that there is inflation, but inflation is calming down and they have deflationary mechanisms built in now as well. But you can see that currently there's no more inflation from advisors, no more inflation from private sale. That's all done. So all you have essentially right now is protocol inflation. And they also recently kicked off deflationary mechanics as well to offset some of that protocol inflation. So really, you're not going to see crazy types of dump pressure or sell pressure from investors or advisors or team or anything like that, which is very, very bullish. So what is AIOZ, guys? AIOZ is a suite of products. I know they're working on a big revamp right now. And for the best way to get more information, guys, is to go to the Twitter account or the X account and go back to November 29th and click this link right here, which brings you to the vision statement, which was posted, just about a week ago. And you can read through the whole thing if you want to do due diligence on this. But essentially what they're building is a lot of things, and they've already been building it. And they've been building this long before I was even an advisor back in early 2021. So that's 3 years ago. And then you have essentially they were building it for like 2 years before that. So this is like 5 years in the making with a lot of products finally built, ready to ship, ready to go. And so AIOZ essentially has a lot of things. They've got decentralized AI computation. You can see here, Web3. So it's basically a comprehensive infrastructure solution for Web3 storage, decentralized AI computation, live streaming, and video on demand powered by people. So they use this node infrastructure to do things like decentralized AI compute, which we can think of kind of like render in a way, and all Amazon Web Services, whether it's cloud hosting, whether it's decentralized IPFS for things like NFTs or data storage on chain. And AIOZ works across not only the Cosmos ecosystem, but also Ethereum ecosystem in this seamless way where you can use either like Kepler wallet, for example, from Cosmos, or you can use MetaMask from Ethereum. It's very, very unique in that way. And for that reason as well, I think that it has a better chance of being adopted, as we are all very familiar with like MetaMask, for example, but not a lot of us are familiar with Kepler, which is kind of the default wallet for the Cosmos ecosystem. So I will probably end up doing a standalone video on AIOZ after they do the rebrand and come out with some things. I'm very, very curious to see what kind of partnerships they have. I know that they have some big ones that lined up. I don't know what they are, full disclosure. And another full disclosure, I have, out of everything I've talked about, the only one I hold tokens for is AIOZ. I bought a large bag myself on the open market, on the exchange, like anybody else could do, just before I talked about it on Ivan's channel. So I actually, when I got this, it's basically the same. I mean, I think I got it like $150 million market cap. So it's basically the same today, a little bit higher than when I bought it. But, that was also a few weeks ago. So to give us an idea of like where AIOZ could potentially go, we know that it has a lot of the narratives that we want to see. And a lot of the things, like not only is it fundamentally a very strong project, but from a narrative perspective, it hits a lot of the right keys. It is decentralized video streaming, decentralized content delivery. A lot of these things are kind of firsts that don't exist in the industry right now that are very, very needed. And you might be thinking, well, why would somebody use AIOZ versus like Amazon Web Services? Well, it's decentralized. And when you have something decentralized, it is a more efficient peer-to-peer system, which means that you remove the middleman, eliminating the profit that the middleman would take. So whatever, and if you guys don't know, Amazon makes the majority of its money through AWS, not through the Amazon storefront, actually. And so it's a very, very, very valuable solution, but people ultimately don't really care so much. What they want is cheaper hosting, cheaper AI compute than what the centralized counterparts offer. And that's what AIOZ is doing. It's using a decentralized network of humans and nodes to use their resources to compute, to store, to process for people who want to use the services, meaning that the services will be less money. And so it simply comes down to a business logic. And a lot of times, since we built in Web3 as well, I'm looking for a Web3 decentralized version of the centralized counterparts. So if I want to store a website, if I want to store JPEGs for NFTs, if I want to use decentralized AI compute, something like AIOZ is something that I would definitely use, because simply for the reason that, well, for me personally, I like the ethos of it, but most people will just simply care because it's cheaper than the centralized alternative. So when we look at AIOZ, it's a layer one, it's the AI data compute, and it's like they're building a suite of products for everything that AWS offers, and disrupting that as well. So right now at $164 million market cap, I think this is an extremely good valuation right now. It only has come on people's radar fairly recently. If you look at, like, let's say 90 days, for example, look at almost dead here at, 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent. Here you go up to 1.5 cents. And the volume was almost non-existent as well. Look at 1 million of volume, $373,000 volume. This is just 2 months ago. And then you can see it's been taking off like crazy here. Now you might ask, is it too late to get involved? You look at something like Render, for example, which is a $2 billion FDV, which is like a 15x from where it is right now. And that's just one aspect. What about the layer 1 blockchain? Because you can do smart contracts on AIOZ. You can do all kinds of, you can host your apps, your dApps, you can host all kinds of things on top of the AIOZ blockchain. It is a layer 1 blockchain after all. So you've got the layer 1 narrative, interoperability narrative, you've got the AI compute narrative, you've got the services narrative, and all those fees and revenue go back into the token ecosystem, which I also really, really like. Very, very powerful. So you take like a popular L1, give it, between $1 to $7 billion market cap. You've got Render, 2 billion market cap. You give the Cosmos ecosystem, the AI narrative, and a bull run. You got a recipe, my friends, for a very, very good result when it comes down to how this thing will perform in the market. So yeah, again, go look at the vision paper. I'm very, very bullish. And the last thing I want to talk about, guys, is Celestia and the potential, the things building on it and the potential airdrop that one might get. So I don't need to talk to you guys about how to do airdrop. In fact, this guy, Cryptocito, made a great video on it, and I will link his video down below in the description. But what I can say is that there's a lot of speculation right now, and he goes into in the video about these potential airdrops. If you stake your TIA, which here's how you do it. Again, that will be in the video description as well. But there's a lot of big projects building on Celestia right now. Barachain, huge. Axelar, huge. AltLayer, huge. Aether Games, which I'm an investor in, very, very awesome. There's quite a lot of things being built right now that haven't launched a token yet, that there's a lot of speculation that if you're staking your TIA, you possibly will get an airdrop. All right, guys, I hope that you found that valuable. I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye-bye.